Hello everyone, welcome to this live session of JJ Edu for Business Correspondence and Reporting. This side Rozy Sharma, your faculty for the same. Before I start with this doubt session, if you have any query during the session or anything related to it, you can drop your queries in the comment box below. So this part B of Business Correspondence and Reporting consists of 40 marks in your exam paper, and it includes judging and assessment of your speaking skills, your writing skills, and it is all related to your communication of English. The good command over the English will help you to attempt it in the best possible manner. It's all related to the language, meaningful words, synonyms, antonyms, vocabulary. Writing part consists of report writing, article writing. So many things are there to assess simply your command over the English that you can use with any firm or the association in future you will be working with, right? So if you have good command over the English, you will be able to assess this part very well, and you need to go through a lots of content or resource material available here and there to get efficiency over this. In today's session particularly, we are going to cover up 3 main topics from your syllabus with the maximum weightage in your paper. And it's about letter writing, it's about article and report writing, and it's about precise writing. So we will start this session with formal letters that are the part of the official communication. And before I proceed, I will again speak out my words. If you have any query, if you have any doubt, you people can drop it in the comment box. So here we are. The first thing on the screen that you can see over here is formal letters and the official communication. How much weightage does it hold? It has the weightage of 4 marks in your exam paper. 4 marks. Other parts, other questions if you attempt related to the vocabulary, like its synonyms, antonyms, one word substitution, and a few other questions, they hardly carry the weightage of 1 or 2 marks. So if you are attempting it or you are leaving it, I think it is not going to affect much. But if you are leaving any question of 4 marks, 5 marks, 6 marks, so it is really going to affect your performance, right? So here this formal letter, it holds 4 marks in your exam paper. So this is too much. Out of 40 marks, you can score 4 marks if you are going to attempt it in the best possible manner. So what are the points that you should keep in mind while writing a formal letter? Before that, let us talk about the important things, that how many types of formal letters are there. When we are talking about this CA syllabus, so it is limited up to only business formal letters, right? This heading where it is written business formal letters, these have different types, where we have appointment letters, we have resignation letters, job offer letters are there, complaint letters are there, requesting letters are there, letters of inquiries and replies that are required in a firm, letters of complaint and its reply, letters of order, sales letter. A list is long, but in most of the papers, maximum number of times we have seen only the job application that I have highlighted over in the red. Job application, maximum number of times this question appears in your question paper, and you are really required to prepare it well. And if you know, job application is divided into 2 parts. One is the covering letter and other one is resume. So resume, though you people have seen around you in your houses, with your friends, with your families applying for the job. So you must have seen job applications having the resume part. But where you actually lack the scoring is in the cover letter. So which things should be kept in mind when you start writing a letter when it is formal one? So you are required to keep it short and crisp. Since it is formal letter, so the person on the other side may not be having any interest in extra XYZ. He has no interest in your alpha, beta, gamma. He is only interested in the main point, the main content. So your business letter must be short and crisp only, right? it should have a formal tone, right? It should have a formal tone, no dear, no loving. These kinds of words should be completely avoided in these letters. You should use proper salutations like respected sir and ma'am, dear sir and ma'am, but not keep it limited up to dear with the name only. That becomes the informal tone, right? Do not forget to mention the date in the beginning of the letter, and it should be followed by the address, subject matter, salutations and the other things. And these all things are written on the left side always, not on the right side. These all things are the right part of your letter, that is always written on the left hand side. So if you keep these basic things in your mind, that your letter should not consist anything that is not required. It should be short and crisp. It should have a formal tone. The date should be there. Proper salutation should be there. The proper address should be there. And all these things should be written only and only on left hand side. तो यहीं पर ही आप इस लेटर के अराउंड 1.5 और 2 मार्क्स स्कोर कर सकते हैं. द रीजन बीइंग योर फॉर्मेट इज करेक्ट. आपके लेटर में फॉर्मेट की भी मार्किंग होती है. 4 मार्क्स में से आप 1 to 1.5 मार्क्स यू कैन स्कोर इफ यू आर अटेम्प्टिंग द फॉर्मेट राइट. ओके, सो मूविंग ऑन, वी विल टॉक अबाउट द जॉब एप्लीकेशन. In job application, again I am repeating, where you generally get lack in scoring part is the covering letter. Resume you people can attempt, but when it comes to the covering letter, we have to cover up all the aspects of a formal letter. Like it begins with the sender's address. How a formal letter always start? A formal letter always start with the sender's address. It means I am the sender and I am sending it to someone, so I need to specify my own address in the letter first. So what it is, like in the screen you can see here, the top part is about the sender's address that has been highlighted over here. Below the sender's address, immediately next, what we are supposed to write? We are supposed to write the date. The date on which the letter is being written or is being forwarded to someone. The next part comes about the receiver's address, and receiver's address must be written in at least 3 lines, right? So the first line of the receiver's address is about the designation of the person to whom you are writing the letter, and this part is generally missed by the students. You must have covered up these letters in your class 11th, in your class 12th also, the job applications, and right from then to now we have seen students forget to mention this particular part in the letter, the designation of the person to whom you are writing. This is the first line of the receiver's address. It means when the letter is reaching at the address, someone who is going to deliver it must know to whom he should hand over this letter. डायरेक्टर का एड्रेस किसी और एम्प्लॉय के पास, मैनेजर का एड्रेस चेयरमैन के पास इस तरीके से डिलीवर नहीं होना चाहिए. तो द फर्स्ट लाइन शुड हैव द डेजिग्नेशन ऑफ द पर्सन टू whom you are writing the letter, right? Like we have written this letter for the HOD, right? HOD के आगे हम डिपार्टमेंट भी मेंशन कर सकते हैं. that is given in the next line, that is political science department, right? Next line you have to write that this designation, this person, for which institution he or she is working. It means the name of the institution in the next line, that is the Christ College written over here, and in the next lines you have to specify that where this institution is located, where this college is located. So this Christ College is there at Kormangala in Bangalore. So this will frame my complete receiver's address. Simply writing the name of the address and its location is not sufficient. Simply writing the designation of the person and name of the college is also not sufficient. What you are supposed to write? You are supposed to write the designation of the person for whom you are writing this letter. You are supposed to write the name of the institution also, and you have to write also that where this institution is actually located. Here you have covered up the marking of around 1, यानी 1 नंबर का ये जो आपका पार्ट है, सेंडर्स एड्रेस, डेट एंड द राइट रिसीवर्स एड्रेस, इट इज कवर्ड अप. and most of the time this complete address is given in your question itself. आपका काम वहां पर आधा खत्म हो जाता है जहां पर ये सब चीजें आपके क्वेश्चन में ऑलरेडी मेंशन होती हैं, दैट यू आर XYZ रिसाइडिंग एट दिस एड्रेस, तो ये आपका सेंडर्स एड्रेस बन गया. यू हैव टू राइट द लेटर टू द HOD ऑफ द पॉलिटिकल साइंस डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ क्राइस्ट कॉलेज लोकेटेड एट बेंगलोर. यहाँ पर भी आपको रिसीवर्स एड्रेस अपने आप से मिल गया. क्या डालना है आपको, सिर्फ अपना डेट आपने यहाँ पे जो है अपनी तरफ से स्पेसिफाई करनी है एंड यू विल बी एबल टू स्कोर वेल, राइट. Now, what is the next important thing? It is about the subject line. This is always missed by the students. You forget to write the subject line. And what is the subject line? Why it is important? क्योंकि subject line को पढ़ते ही पर्सन ये अवेयर हो जाता है कि आगे का कंटेंट क्या है या ये लेटर किस बारे में है, इसको कितनी प्रायोरिटी पे रखकर पढ़ना है, अभी पढ़ना है या बाद में पढ़ना है. योर सब्जेक्ट लाइन विल क्लियर दैट. एंड इन सब्जेक्ट लाइन द मोस्ट कॉमन मिस्टेक इज लेटर फॉर द पोस्ट ऑफ PGT इंग्लिश या फिर एप्लीकेशन फॉर द पोस्ट ऑफ PGT इंग्लिश. दैट इज टोटली रॉन्ग. It is incorrect. You are not supposed to use word letter or application in subject line. Instead of using these noun words letter and application, you have to use it in a form of verb, like applying for the job of PGT English या applying for the post of PGT English, not application for the post of PGT English. Mind it, it will result in the deduction of the marks if you will use these two terms, letter or application, in subject line. You can use the word applying, not application directly, right? Next thing that you have to mention in your letter is the right salutation. Right salutation, it can be respected sir, ma'am, it can be dear sir and ma'am, but you will not here specify directly the name of the person with dear. It will give it a informal tone. What we are supposed to do, we are supposed to keep our tone completely formal over here, right? So dear sir, ma'am, and here begins the main part of the letter. The first paragraph is about the opening lines, where you will give the introduction, that from where you have come to know about this vacancy in a particular institution. It can be from a newspaper, it can be from a concerned person. So all this you have to specify in the opening lines of your covering letter. The center part of your letter, the middle part, it's about your specification, that which all qualities you are having कि आपको उस जॉब के लिए सेलेक्ट किया जाए. आप अकेले पर्सन नहीं है जो उस जॉब के लिए अप्लाई कर रहे हैं. सो हाउ यू विल कन्विंस द कंसर्न्ड पर्सन about this job that he should appoint you only. That is the second paragraph of your letter. It should be convincing enough to make the other person decide that you are the right person for this post, right? And the last paragraph, consisting of 3-4 lines, it's about what you are expecting next, where you can mention that you are available anytime for the interaction, you are looking forward to their response, and it's about a courtesy that you are requesting the other person to go through your application and you are looking forward to their reply also, right? So how the body of the letter is divided here, the first is about the introduction, from where you get to know about this job. Second is about your specification that make you eligible for this job, and third is what you are looking forward to the employer, right? After that you have to give the complimentary clause, and this is also called ending salutation, and this is also called subscription also, where you can write yours truly. यहाँ पर generally बच्चे क्या करते हैं, you people used to write your faithfully. Faithfully word has been completely eliminated by CBSE. Somewhere this word was related to the time of the Britishers, right, where Indians used to show themselves faithful towards the royalty at that time. But at present this word is completely eliminated and you all are required not to use this word at all. So what you will use here, you will use here yours truly as the subscription or as the closing line and followed by the name. अब यहाँ पर नेम में भी अगेन इफ द नेम इज गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन इन द बिगनिंग दैट यू आर संजना लिविंग एट दिस पर्टिकुलर एड्रेस, तो आपकी लास्ट में क्लोजिंग लाइन्स में भी आपका नाम संजना ही आना चाहिए. यू कैन नॉट एड ऑन एनी अदर नेम एट योर ओन. सो डू नॉट फॉरगेट फ्लो में आकर कभी अपना नाम मत लिख बैठना। अगर एड्रेस में ऑलरेडी नेम गिवन है, अगर लेटर के क्वेश्चन में ऑलरेडी नेम गिवन है, तो यू हैव टू यूज दैट नेम ओनली। सो दिस इज अबाउट द कवरिंग लेटर। तो जो आपकी जॉब एप्लीकेशन ये 4 नंबर की आती है एग्जाम में जनरली, सो 2 to 3 मार्क्स इज अबाउट द कवरिंग लेटर एंड हार्डली 1 to 1.5 मार्क्स इज अबाउट द रेज्यूमे। रेज्यूमे में आप 1-2 करेक्शंस भी कर देंगे तो भी आप मार्क्स स्कोर कर लेते हैं। तो कवरिंग लेटर और रेज्यूमे बना के आपको दोनों को मिला के आपके पास 4 मार्क्स की स्कोरिंग होती है। सो इफ यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग वेल फॉर इट, तो आपको इसके अंदर 4 मार्क्स मिलते हैं। अब हमने इसी लेटर को यहाँ पर क्यों डिस्कस किया है, द रीजन बीइंग बिजनेस लेटर है। इससे रिलेटेड आप कोई ऑर्डर प्लेस कर रहे हैं तो भी कहीं ना कहीं आप इसी लैंग्वेज, इसी फॉर्मेट के इर्द गिर्द रहेंगे। आप कुछ कंप्लेंट लेटर लिख रहे हैं, आप ऑर्डर प्लेस कर रहे हैं, आप रिक्वेस्टिंग लेटर लिख रहे हैं, आप किसी चीज़ के लिए अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, जैसे यहाँ पर जॉब एप्लीकेशन है, आप किसी टूर की इंक्वायरी कर रहे हैं, तो आपका फॉर्मेट जो है वो बिल्कुल सेम यही रहना है। ओनली द वेरिएशन वेयर द वेरिएशन विल बी, इट विल बी देयर ओनली इन द बॉडी ऑफ द लेटर, इट विल बी देयर only in the content of the letter, otherwise rest of the things will remain same. So where the variations will be in the body of the letter, right? You can see that it is highlighted. The para 1 is about the introduction, it can get little change. Describing the issue or the concern, it can be little bit changed, and request to do the needful, it will be changed. Rest of the things will remain same. So here we have covered up the first topic of our today's session, that consists of 4 marks in your paper. Moving on to the next. Yes, here it is article writing. Most of the times in the paper we get this question about article writing only, but sometimes it's about report writing also, sometimes it's about speech and debate also, but now the speech and debate are not the part of our course and we are left with only what? We are left with only the article writing and we are left with only the report writing now. So article writing and report writing are almost same, only the difference is there of little bit, that report writing is completely written in the past and also the byline is added there, which can be eliminated in article writing, right? So what's there in the article writing now? What is actually the article? Article is a long composition based on a verbal visual output. What you have heard, what you have seen around, describing that thing is article when it comes in the written form. It can be descriptive, it can be argumentative in nature, but when it becomes argumentative in nature, it is categorized under debate writing, right? So here we are talking about article writing only. Here we are talking about article writing only. So tips to write an article. What are the different things that you should keep in mind while writing an article? That article or the report, it should have a very catchy title, the appealing title. अब आप लोग देखिए, आपके घर में सबके पास न्यूज़पेपर्स आते होंगे, न्यूज़पेपर्स आते हैं या आप लोग न्यूज़ सुनते हैं, तो जनरली रिपोर्टर्स का क्या काम होता है कि वो सुबह से ही न्यूज़ चैनल्स पर बहुत ही अजीब अजीब सी हेडिंग्स के साथ, बहुत ही अजीब अजीब से टाइटल्स के साथ एडवर्टीज करना स्टार्ट कर देते हैं। यू पीपल स्टार्ट वेटिंग फॉर द पर्टिकुलर टाइम कि कब इनका ये पर्टिकुलर एपिसोड स्टार्ट होगा। सो उनकी स्ट्रेटेजी मेन जो है अट्रैक्ट करने की, वो कहाँ पे लाई करती है कि आप टाइटल क्या यूज कर रहे हैं, राइट? सो सेम इज देयर इन द आर्टिकल राइटिंग ऑल्सो, सेम इज देयर इन द रिपोर्ट राइटिंग व्हेन इट कम्स टू द रिटन पार्ट, दैट द वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग दैट योर टाइटल शुड बी अपीलिंग। सामने वाले का इंटरेस्ट उसमें डेवलप होना चाहिए, एक फ्लैट टाइटल नहीं होना चाहिए जो कि उठा के एक साइड पर रख दिया जाए, राइट? सो एन अपीलिंग टाइटल इज द most thing when it comes to article and when it comes to report writing, ठीक है? Then article writing and both report writing are followed by byline. What do you mean by byline? Byline means by whom this article and report is being prepared. किसने ये article लिखा है, किसने ये report लिखी है, that comes under the heading byline. Byline is written immediately after the title and it is generally extended to the right hand side. बिल्कुल सेंटर में टाइटल और बिल्कुल टाइटल के एग्जैक्टली नीचे आप बायलाइन नहीं लिखेंगे. बायलाइन शुड बी एक्सटेंडेड ऑन द right hand side. After writing the article, again there is the long content which is divided into different paragraphs. So first one is, I am talking about the opening paragraph that holds the introduction of the topic, that has the introduction of the topic, which briefly tell what the article is about. It can be started by some quotation, it can be started by some facts. अब suppose करो अगर मैं कोई आर्टिकल लिख रही हूँ जंक फूड के बारे में और मैं उसको बहुत ही फ्लैट और बहुत ही विजनरी तरीके से स्टार्ट कर रही हूँ कि जंक फूड हमारे हेल्थ पर बहुत इफेक्ट डाल रहा है, सब लोग जंक फूड खाते हैं, तो इट इज गोइंग टू टेक लेस अटेंशन एज कंपेयर टू व्हेन आई स्टार्ट विद some very catchy words like McDonald's are there, like KFC is there, like other food outlets are there, Starbucks is there. जहाँ पर भी आपको ये टाइटल्स मिलेंगे, आप एक बार उस आर्टिकल को, एक बार उस कंटेंट को ज़रूर पढ़ने की कोशिश करेंगे. You always develop your curiosity in these kinds of content, that what actually is there, right? So always your opening lines in the article should be catchy enough with the quotation, with the facts, or with some specific words that are capable enough to get the attention of the reader, right? Second paragraph is the main body of the article that starts with the data or the current scenario. And what all things do we cover in the second paragraph? We cover up the problems that we are talking about. We are cover up the corrective measures for these kinds of problem, that how these problems can be resolved if I am talking about junk food. So how to reduce the consumption of junk food, it can be covered up in this second paragraph itself. It's also about the advantages and disadvantages. Suppose I am talking about the science and technology, if I am talking about the gadgets around us. So what are its advantages and what are its disadvantages? All these things we cover up in the second paragraph. Also, it's about the cause and consequences too, right? If I am talking about the, suppose I am talking about the corruption in India, what are the causes of it, what are its consequences, what are its corrective measures, how this can be reduced or how this can be eliminated from our system. All these things we cover up in our elaborative paragraph, that is the second paragraph of the article. And then the third paragraph is about the conclusion, which gives a brief summary, and it also carries your final opinion, any special suggestion or remark. And what should be kept in mind, that never leave an article open ended. आप जब आर्टिकल लिख रहे हैं तो लास्ट में उसमें कुछ ना कुछ एक साइड का सॉल्यूशन देना नेसेसरी होता है. यू कैन नॉट लीव इट ओपन एंडेड फॉर रीडर्स टू डिसाइड और थिंक व्हाट हैपेंड आफ्टरवर्ड्स. अब अगर रिपोर्ट राइटिंग की बात करें तो वहां पर हमारे पास ये रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं होता. सपोज यू हैव विटनेस्ड एन एक्सीडेंट ऑन द रोड and it had scenario ended up where you have seen that the ambulance is there taking away the injured person. You do not know what happened afterwards, so you can leave your report there only. But in article you are required to give the final conclusion, you are required to wind up the things over there, right? So this is the article writing. So article writing में हम letter की तरह ये भी नहीं बोलेंगे that it should be brief, it should be crisp. No, it's all about the elaboration. आर्टिकल में आप जितना ज़्यादा लिखेंगे आपको मार्क्स उतने ज़्यादा मिलेंगे, right? It is of 5 marks in your paper, right? When you will attempt your paper, if you attempt it well, you will get complete 5 marks in the article writing. You have to cover up all the aspects right from the first paragraph till the last. Let us see one example related to in a very brief manner. Yes, here it is, that my vision of India in the future. This is my heading, right? My vision of the India in the future, this is heading. If you can see, it lies in the center of the screen. And further, by whom this is written, it can be any name. I have simply written over here by XYZ. But if you notice that this byline, it is extended to the right hand side. This is what I am speaking again and again, that byline does not exactly lie just below the title. It is always extended to the right hand side, like you people can see. Now on the screen, this first paragraph, that is in blue part and the screen is getting split. So this blue part is the opening paragraph. It's about the introduction of the topic, that what's my vision related to the India, right? It's only about the introduction, that what I am observing around me, just to frame, just to get the interest of the readers. Followed by the second paragraph, that it is in the brownish orange color. It's about the elaboration. It's about my views, right? So what all is happening around me, that was in a very brief manner we have covered up in the first introductory paragraph, but all about the elaboration should be there in the second paragraph, and the third paragraph should be written in a very short manner, because it's your personal views, it's your personal opinions, and it should be given in a very short manner. Article should not be left open ended. So in a very brief manner, in a very less words, you can specify it in the conclusive paragraph that is written on the end. So generally the article is about 3 to 4 paragraphs only. The first and last paragraph is about introduction and conclusion, and second and third paragraph is about elaboration. Anything and everything you know about this topic, you people can write in that. So it was about article writing. Again, one thing that I would like to convey, that article writing has no limitation related to tense also, right? You are writing in the present tense, you are talking about the future, and you are also mentioning about what you have observed in the past. It least matter in the article writing, but when it comes to report writing, it is mandatory and it is must to use only the past tense, because you are reporting something that has already happened. जो already हो चुका है आप उसको report कर रहे हो, and report writing is all about that. The last topic that we are covering over here is about the precise writing, and again it carries 5 marks in your paper. कुछ भी ना बोलकर अगर मैं सिर्फ एक लाइन में इतनी सी बात बोलूं कि आपको मैंने एक बड़ा सा पैराग्राफ दे दिया, उसको पढ़ो और उसको जितने कम वर्ड्स में लिख सकते हो लिख दो, आपको 5 मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे. यही है आपकी प्रीसाइज राइटिंग. व्हाट इज प्रीसाइज राइटिंग? राइटिंग द कंटेंट इनटू 1/3 वर्ड लिमिट. आपको जितने भी वर्ड्स का कंटेंट दिया हुआ है, अगर आप उसको 1/3 करके लिख देते हो, तो दैट इज सिंपली द प्रीसाइज राइटिंग. In the image you can see, what you can see, that on one side I have written a long paragraph, and on the other side just I have minimized it, or I have shortened it in a very limited words. If I was having around 15 to 16 lines in my elongated paragraph, I have shortened it and I have limited up to only 3 to 5 lines. So it is about precise writing. What is the essential of precise writing? It's about ABC. It's about ABC. It means it should be accurate, it should be brief, and it should be clear. 1/3 of the original matter is all about precise writing. आप किसी भी कंटेंट को बहुत ही एक्यूरेटली, बहुत ही ब्रीफली और बहुत ही क्लियर करके सिर्फ 1/3 वर्ड्स में लिख रहे हो, वहां पर थर्ड पर्सन का यूज कर रहे हो, अपना कोई पर्सनल ओपिनियन आपने ऐड नहीं करना. पैराग्राफ की फॉर्म में जितना भी कंटेंट आपको गिवन है उसको शॉर्ट करके 1/3 वर्ड्स में लिख देते हो, तो यू विल बी एबल टू स्कोर वेल. नेगेटिव मार्किंग होगी अगर आप यूज करते हैं आई बिलीव. फर्स्ट पर्सन को यूज नहीं करना, सिर्फ और सिर्फ थर्ड पर्सन को यूज करना है, इनडायरेक्ट स्पीच को यूज करना है, अपने कोई भी पर्सनल ओपिनियन नहीं देने. जो आपके सामने लिखा हुआ है उसमें से मेन जो भी आपको मिल रहा है उसको शॉर्ट करके लिख दो. इट्स ऑल अबाउट प्रीसाइज राइटिंग. So these were the 3 main important topics that we have covered up from your writing skill part of your syllabus. It doesn't mean that the rest of the things are not important. एक marks जाकर ही लास्ट में 40 आपको टोटल सम अप करके देंगे. So keep preparing for it. If you are having further any doubts, you can share us and we will be always there to attempt those things. Thank you and prepare well.